everyone. I'm Latoya Edwards. Good morning to you. I hope you're ready for a beautiful day. Welcome right now to the 25th Annual Mother's Day Walk for Peace for the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. We have a perfect day planned for you. It's a gorgeous day outside on this Mother's Day, and here's something special. Everybody are really around the globe. Many of them are tuning in right now for this walk, and we have something special. We have an original piece composed specifically for today, for you, to honor this annual Mother's Day Walk for Peace, the 25th year. We're hearing directly from the season 15 winner of America's Got Talent, Mr. Brandon Lee, composing something special. Check this out.
There's nothing in this world like a mother's intuition. The way they can instinctively comprehend a scenario without any prior information. How they can turn sorrow to joy, heal heartache to happiness, and how they can be a pillar of peace even in the midst of chaos. And on this day, the 25th year anniversary of the Mother's Day Walk for Peace, can we do the same? Can we selflessly extend love to those who are in need of its embrace most? Because love is not selfish. It does not boast. It instead looks for every opportunity to care for those who are in most need of it in the moment. Seeking unity with those who are around us, understanding that you and me, or should I say, you and I, are so much stronger together than we have ever been on our own. And it is us in this moment, knowing that we are on this journey and that we have to have faith in each other, faith in ourselves, faith in something bigger than us, putting hope into action, and then using that action to build up our better tomorrow. But that task, it ain't for the weak-willed. It takes a strong mind and heart, and courage is required to tackle this task. Because when the world is in disarray, it'll be just us seeking justice. And in this moment, it is just this. And what we have is what we need. The willingness to forgive, even in the midst of immeasurable pain. And ain't that what mamas do? Ain't these 7 pillars of peace the cornerstone of parenthood, of motherhood? And ain't that the way that we can best honor our mamas? To heal our past, to build a better tomorrow. And ain't that what mamas do? And what better way to honor our mamas than to dedicate our lives to peace?
Wow, Brandon, thank you so much. You have me tearing up as we witness you talk about Ain't That What Mamas Do? And that's what we are here to do right now, again, to honor our mothers. I'm Latoya Edwards. Welcome again to the 25th Annual Mother's Day Walk for Peace for the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. Yes, it's virtual, but we are here. We're going to make it perfect for you. When we talk about honoring our mothers, that's what I'm doing here today. You see my mother over my shoulder here. You see her button. She watched us last year as we launched this. Unfortunately, I lost her this past year, and so I'm honoring her, doing my part to service and keep the mission of the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute going forward. So you just heard from Brandon, the 15th season winner of the America's Got Talent, and he believes in the mission. I know you believe in the mission, and let's get even more people involved. So you can invite folks to watch right now and encourage people to participate in this. It's a special time. It's been my honor to host this walk launch for so many years from Town Field in Dorchester, my hometown. It's always one of my favorite events from the NBC, NEC, and Telemundo family, which I'm proud to be a member of. We are the official TV media partner for this walk. Last year, the start of the pandemic, we jumped to help facilitate the virtual walkathon for peace. And of course, we're back doing it again, hopefully urging you, the dedicated walkers, to push past last year's very successful efforts. And after all, you're all just going to do this and continue to do this work and believe in the community and we're not going to let this worldwide pandemic get us down. So I want to bring in truly the heart of this walk, the heart of the organization right now. Please join me in giving a virtual yay to Chaplain Clementina Sherry, the founder, the president, the CEO of the Institute. Wow, Tina, 25 years. Congratulations to you.
25 years. Thank you. Good morning. And what a blessed day this is. Like you, Latoya, I'm also here honoring and remembering my mom. Friday actually was her 1 year anniversary. She died due to COVID. And I'm here with my grandson. He's here with me today, Alexander, just spending time together for Mother's Day. Say hi, Alexander. So thank you so much. And welcome, everybody. I'm excited for this lineup. And yes, Brandon, oh my God, my heart. This just set me for the day. Welcome, everyone.
Well, welcome. Exactly. And I want to bring folks' attention to the graphic there. You'll be seeing it all throughout the morning on ways that you can give. You can be a part of this special event. The Donate Now, www.mothersdaywalkforpeace.org. You'll be seeing that. You know, you're looking to dedicate and honor your mother in a way, you know, beyond the flowers, beyond something. You want something more tangible. How about investing in the community and doing something that will go on and on? Okay, so Tina, we have to dig into 25 years of this organization. For people who are new to the Walk for Peace, can you tell us how this all got started?
It started 25 years ago. You know, people thought I was crazy because trying to celebrate Mother's Day when my oldest son was no longer here and I had two babies, Alan and Alexandra. How do you celebrate? So I saw other amazing walks, Walk for Hunger, Walks for AIDS, Jane Doe Walk. And I just couldn't understand why wasn't there a walk for mothers on Mother's Day. And I did, working with our former mayor, the late Mayor Menino, our former police commissioner Evans, our community-based organizations, our legislators, our city councilors, and the survivors. And I think they thought I was crazy just to appease me. But like with other survivors, we were crazy together and we came out. A handful of us walking in Dorchester. It was really a fundraiser. And it was also a way for us to come together so that we can get permission to grieve our children that are no longer here, and then permission to celebrate those who are here and to recommit to work together to protect each other's children. And here we are 25 years later. To God be the glory.
Absolutely. How has COVID-19 affected the communities that you serve?
You know, it's a multitude question because COVID is one of those, again, epidemics that continues to add layers. It has affected our community even more immensely. You know, people of color, again, we keep saying are disproportionately impacted. Homicides are still happening. Suicides have increased. And then COVID, overdose. And so it has impacted us. And that's why this fundraiser, this day is even more important because we are providing additional resources and our financial capacity is being drained out. So this day is even more important.
Absolutely. So we have a financial goal here, Tina. And if people may say, oh, that's a lofty goal, but we came so far last year. We need to hit this goal because people are in more need than ever. Where are we trying to go?
So I know the audacity, $600,000. Got a new development team and they said, Tina, we can do this. Now, yes. Why $600,000? Even last year, again, due to COVID, we paid out over $100,000 to assist families to bury their loved ones. Funeral homes want their money. Cemeteries want their money up front. So we paid out over $100,000 in our Rest in Peace Fund. Again, COVID happened, survivors. We don't fit in many categories. And so we have a Live in Peace Fund that we paid out almost $100,000 for housing support, housing relocation when a homicide happens. Families want to move because of safety and security, paying for hotels, and just the basic needs that as survivors of homicide victims, again, because we don't fit anybody's pocket and funding stores, we are able to provide those financial resources. So these funds are unrestricted that will allow us to continue to serve families as they need it.
Absolutely. So let's get this going. Let folks at home, you see the www.mothersdaywalkforpeace.org. That's the way to donate. Please do. And we're going to continue our program right now. Get you revved up. Get you excited for this virtual walk right now. We want to bring in Tina, one of our favorites. We'd like to welcome Reverend Lisette Wright, president and founder of Peacekeepers, an international organization dedicated to cultivating partnerships for preventing violence. Reverend, thank you for waking up with us this morning, getting us going. I see the sign over your shoulder. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Good morning.
Good morning, Latoya. Wow, Brandon, and that spoken word was tremendous. And Tina, it is so great to lay eyes on you. You look great. So
likewise, my sister.
What a joy to be here. So today we celebrate 25 years of Walking for Peace in Boston. And I thank God for the tenacious love of Tina Sherry and the Sherry family, who in the midst of their grieving launched the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute, as well as this Mother's Day Walk for Peace. And let me just tell you, they have transformed us all. I know they have transformed my life, and I have been blessed to know the Sherry family for 20 years now. And I just can't believe 20 years have just flown by. So thank you so much, Tina. I love you so much. And Tina was with me. I remember my mom today, Rosetta Wright. Tina was with me when I buried my mother. So our relationship runs deep, and I am just overjoyed that we are here and our mothers are here with us in our hearts today. Please join me in prayer. God of love, we pray with our feet on today. We come in solidarity with all survivors of murder victims around the world. We join hand in hand with mothers and fathers of murdered children and all survivors who daily press through the abiding sorrow, anticipating a true manifestation of liberty and justice for all. We come today seeking the peace of cities, towns, and nations. We come pursuing the hope that heals the brokenhearted, yearning for a justice that can see us as you see us, oh God. We come cultivating that unity which honors our identities in every tribe, tongue, nation, and religion. We come desiring a courage that transforms the world with shalomic vision. We come focusing on a forgiveness that is rooted in the mercy you have toward all of us as your creation. So we walk today, God, and we ask that you will walk with us as we journey. Walk with us today, God, as we give. Walk with us today, God, as we weep. Walk with us today, God, as we worship, committed to turning our pain and anger into power and action. We come this day in pursuit of a hope that heals hearts and a love that liberates lives. This I pray in Jesus' name, amen. Peace be with you, everyone, and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Thank you so much, Reverend Lisette. She is one of my spiritual advisors. And now, joining us is Dr. Kevin Tabb, one of the co-chairs of the Mother's Day Walk for Peace. He is the president and CEO of Beth Israel Lahey Health. Dr. Tabb, welcome. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Latoya. So great to be here with you this morning.
Well, we have to talk about the fact that, I mean, it's a true family, everybody watching right now, and you are like really a lead in the family. So the seventh year that you've served as the chair of the Mother's Day Walk for Peace. Can you tell us what this event, what the work of the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute means to you personally?
Absolutely. Well, I would say it is an honor to be called part of this family. Such an important organization, such an important event. 7 years ago, I was asked to co-chair the event as a leader of one of Boston's healthcare organizations. And I get asked to chair a lot of events, and I can't do most of them. I thought it'd be a one-time thing, but I never let go. And I've been co-chair every year since. And in that time, by the way, I would say that Tina has become a friend. My wife, Karen, says this is the best way that we could possibly spend Mother's Day together. We walk this event every year with thousands of people, including hundreds from Beth Israel Lahey Health, because we believe strongly we've got to stand in support of the communities that we serve that have been hit so hard by violence. And Tina mentioned this past year with the pandemic, it's only exacerbated the crisis and really heightened the need.
Well, we want to talk about, because you show up every year and you bring your team with you. Your doctors, your medical staff, they see the importance of this. For folks who don't understand why that gun violence, you've been clear identifying that gun violence is truly a public health issue for all of us to care about. And that's why it's time to invest in services that help and prevent this.
Absolutely. As you say, gun violence is one of the major public health issues of our time. And health systems have always had a role in taking care of people when they reach our doors, whether they're injured or sick. But, I believe that we've got to move beyond that. We've got to think hard about the reasons that people end up injured and sick in our institutions. And as importantly, we have a role to play in speaking out to help stop violence, given that we know we see firsthand what pain it causes. And I believe that we have a moral responsibility to speak up, to speak out.
All right. Well, you know what, Tina, Dr. Kevin Tabb has some very important friends that he'd like to introduce us to.
Yes, Dr. Tabb, please take it away.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so excited that I get to introduce our next guest. You know these brothers as die hard, do their job, New England Patriots who leave it all on the field. But Devin and Jason McCourty, they also give it their all off the field as they support nonprofits that promote racial and social justice.
And so who do we have here? I mean, I'm a big fan. I don't want the cat to be out of the bag here. So they're twins. They're awesome. They're leaders in the community. They're on the field. They're off the field. If I say hashtag gorgeous, that just slipped out. My husband didn't hear it. Tina,
Their wives are listening.
they know. Oh, their wives know. So, I mean, they're just the best people, really, Tina. How do you get everybody to show up for you right now? Tell us who we're talking. It's Devin and Jason. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. Now, especially seeing you guys here showing up for us. Thank you. So,
You're muted, Jay.
There you go. Happy Mother's Day to everybody, all the moms that are watching. I hope they're enjoying a beautiful Sunday.
Well, thank you so much. Nice T-shirts, by the way. A Mother's Day Walk for Peace. Now, we know that you guys are dedicated to community events. What was it about the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute that touched your heart and said, I have to show up for this organization, even though I know you're with your families, but you said, this is something to show up for and we need to spread the word? Devin.
I think for both of us, our father passed away when we were young, so our mom was everything. We know how much she sacrificed and poured into us. So to know, these moms have lost children that I'm sure they sacrifice and pour so much into just to be with them today and to let them know that we're thinking about them. I think for us is an incredible honor. And we had to show up, we had to help, and we're so appreciative of the work that the Louis D. Brown Center does. We just want to lend our helping hand.
So, Jason, I know that you guys are not afraid to speak your mind about why the community should show up for organizations like Louis D. Brown Peace Institute, their work with homicide victims, their work with people who are suffering from the pandemic. What do you want to say to fans who are saying, I have a little bit of resources to give? Why give to this organization?
Man, I would challenge you to go and read the story and go read the about and the why. I think when you look at organizations or people, just for that sake, understanding their why goes a long way. And in the middle of so much hurt and so much just damage being done, to be able to flip that around and turn it into a positive and to serve. I think that's so important in today's society, is that we serve one another. And that's what this Peace Institute does. It came from violence. It came from the crack in the cement, and somehow a flower was able to grow. And I think that's so important. I think for those people out there that are listening and that are watching, and you're on the brink and you're trying to decide, what this institute has done is truly remarkable. They're continuing to serve families that are going through or have gone through the same hurt that they went through, and they can understand it and they can empathize, and they were in their shoes. And I think it's very important to give back. And when you've overcome some things, to be able to share that testimony and that story. And that's what the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute is doing. And I think it's important. Devin and myself are both going to give. And I think it's important that everybody out there recognize how important this is.
Tina, I saw you welling up just now.
My heart, thank you so much. Every time I hear someone else talks about what we do, it's a reminder. If someone else could be doing this and I could just have my family back the way it was. So an honor with heartfelt gratitude to have two beautiful, gorgeous Black men, just really talk about the importance of service. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, enjoy your Mother's Day. Thank you for showing up for the people of Boston, all the New England fans. We know that we love you guys, and people all over the world, really, because you didn't have to use your voice. Thank you for showing up for the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute, and you're going to help families for years and years to come just by lending your voice. So, Jason and Devin, do you want to have any final words?
I would just say, like Jay started off with, Happy Mother's Day. Incredible day for everyone out there. Take time to send a text, a call, a FaceTime if you can, to say I love you and thank you to all of the people who were either mothers or like mothers in your life.
Yes, well said.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Bye-bye. Tina.
Wow.
I had to hold in the cry. I'm going to hold it because we have another pretty powerful guest coming right now, a game changer, a history maker. And we want to bring in Mayor Janey of Boston, Kim Janey, who has stepped up and answered the call as always, a community leader, beyond being mayor, been in the community for so many years, standing up for our children, Tina. It's your friend, Mayor Janey, here as well.
How are you, Mayor?
Good morning.
Happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you for joining us.
Happy Mother's Day to everyone who is watching.
So, Mayor, like I was saying, that the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute, the issue of violence in the city of Boston, and the loved ones who are left behind. There are so many things that need their support. That they need supported by. Talk about that and investing. And that's really been your mission as soon as you took office as mayor, to invest in the community, because it's like sprinkling water on a flower that just needs a little water, and it grows and it grows. Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, first, I want to commend Reverend Tina Sherry for her amazing work, 25 years. This is such important work. As the first woman mayor and the first Black mayor for the city of Boston, I bring a unique lens. It is the lens of my lived experience. Unfortunately, like so many residents in our city, I see and experience gun violence on a regular basis in my own neighborhood, on my own street. And unfortunately, as mayor, there was a homicide of a mom, of a grandmother, of a great-grandmother. That was my first visit to a crime scene as mayor, but I've experienced that several times throughout my life in the city of Boston. And so I bring a lens of equity, justice, and love, understanding that to have peace, really means that we have to focus on justice and healing in our community. And so I'm just really grateful for the work that Tina Sherry does every single day through the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute in our city.
Absolutely. And so I've been looking at the partnership connection between Boston and the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. I mean, usually we're outside in Dorchester with everybody on stage talking about it, but I just want folks to understand right now that the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute received an Innovative Partnership Award for the City of Boston for the Massachusetts Office for the Victims Assistance for formalizing homicide response protocols in our city. Because when you're at your worst, when you're in the most vulnerable situation, when you've been told that you've lost a loved one, well, what happens next? And the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute is part of that, Mayor.
Yes, and it is so important that we make sure that we have good trauma response. After visiting this scene, we certainly had our trauma team out there the day of, the next day, and days following to support that family. But what became very clear is that we have to do much more. And so I am working with our housing chief to see how we might help families who are survivors of homicide that are impacted by this violence relocate if they need, rather than having to go back to that scene and see, their home devastated by bullets and to be re-triggered by that trauma. So we are working to create a new fund that might help families who are survivors of homicide relocate within the city of Boston so that they don't have to relive that traumatic experience day in and day out.
Tina, I'm looking here right now at both your faces, and Mayor and Tina. There's something. A few people meet you guys in person because I'm 6 feet tall. You're a small package, but boy, you're both powerful. You got to move out of the way when you.
I'm only 5'4", but I hope to bring in a powerful punch to this work. I bring my passion. And I'm just so grateful that we have amazing partners like Reverend Sherry to do this work and who have been doing this work and who are moving our city forward. It is really important that all of our neighborhoods be able to experience the peace and just the joy that comes with, our parks and our open space and all of that. And too many, unfortunately, have to experience gun violence, including my own neighborhood. And so I'm really grateful to have the partnership of Tina Sherry and all of the folks at the Louis D. Brown Institute, as well as mayors across our city. There are amazing Black women mayors doing incredible work. I've been in touch with a number of them in this work, Lori Lightfoot, London Breed, and so many others. Who are also battling similar situations in their own cities.
Absolutely.
And Mayor, we are so excited because that's what we're doing. We are working with survivors across the state and other cities and want to use this model that we have here in Boston, from the late Mayor Menino to Mayor Walsh, and now an honor to continuing this with you so that cities and the survivors that are doing the work can work to transform the way we as society responds to families of homicide victims, especially when they look like us. The response is not equitable and it's not effective. So we are just so honored to be that model, and we share that that's the model. And Boston is always first when we're looking at shifting the way we do business. So looking forward to briefing you properly on this partnership as we continue to move forward.
Absolutely. And I'm happy to do anything to support your work and make sure that my counterparts in other cities understand how important this work is. So thank you so much again for your leadership.
Wow.
And happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Thank you so much. And thank you, LaToya. It's wonderful to see you again.
Great to see you. Enjoy your Mother's Day, and we will speak again soon. Thank you,
Wonderful.
Mayor.
Take care. God bless.
God bless.
All right. Well, we keep this moving right now. We've had so many wonderful speakers. Tina, we now have a really powerful ceremony that you want to tell us about.
Yes, this is really, let it speak for itself. It's our candlelight vigil. Our producers really work with us, organizers, to look at, how we remember, how survivors remember. So it's called Just Passing the Candle.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Whoa, even in my home, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, even in my home, hey, I'm gonna let it shine.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, Tina, that candle, I recognize so many families in there that I know and I've gotten a chance to know. I see from Facebook right now, Agnes is saying powerful. It was powerful seeing that candle being passed on. Mr. Osgood saying, thank you for your service, Mayor Kim Janey. We see so many people say that, wow, gorgeous. We're so glad you're here. That's from Mary. Tina, this is a big thing. People from all over the world are watching right now, and people have lost so much, but they are hopeful. They want to give to an organization that is showing up again when people need it the most. Happy Mother's Day to all as well. Okay, we want to bring in somebody who knows full well what this pain can be, Tina. We're talking about Sarah Flint, whose son was senselessly murdered 40 years ago this year. Sarah, we want to bring you right now into this conversation. Thank you for joining us. And you have your baby right beside you. You look just like twins, the cutest ever.
Hi, good morning.
Thanks for having us.
So who's your baby? Tell me who your baby is.
This one here is my baby Tommy Flint.
Okay, and tell us about your son.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Okay, he was a 15-year-old, very active, loved in the community. And tragically, he was murdered. He was stabbed to death at age 15. He was very athletic. He wanted to be a pilot. And he loved basketball. His favorite basketball player at the time was Tiny Archibald.
Wow. As we look at the family pictures right now, people don't understand 40 years ago probably feels like a minute ago to you.
It always is. And it doesn't help with all the violence. It's a matter of reliving his death every day. And it doesn't get any better, especially during this time with the pandemic.
Tina, I know you have a special connection to the Flint family as you see these beautiful faces right now. What would you like to talk to them? What would you like to say?
Sarah doesn't know it, and I keep telling her that she is one of my sheroes, because she went through this and there was really no support system at that time. And so she credits me, she credits the work of the Peace Institute. But what she doesn't know is that I look to her. I look to her and I gain strength and I gain energy from her. As a woman who, look at her family, they're all incredible. And so I love you, Sarah.
Love you too.
I love you. I love you so much, and honoring your son, the Jimbo Flint Scholarship Fund. And
Thank you
we are here. We are here to serve you and continuing to serve. And we are so proud of you and that you're a part of the Survivors of Homicide Victims Providers Network. And you're informing, you're influencing, and you're impacting policy. So we love you.
Love you too. Thanks for your direction, Tina. and your strength. God
Well,
bless you. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Tommy. You're standing there. I know you. We gotta have you say a little something right now, just really briefly.
Well, I'm proud of. First of all, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to you all. I'm very proud of my mom, Miss Cherry, and just a lot of the people who have gone through so much when we didn't have all the help. And God bless all you guys who are standing up and fighting and standing there supporting each other. And I love you all. So I'm proud to be here with my mom. I think she's one of the strongest people I know.
Woo. Well, we love you too. The Flint family, shout out to you and enjoy your Mother's Day. And thank you for showing up for the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute.
Thank you for your support.
And
God
thank
bless
you as well. God bless you guys.
Bye. Tina, wow. Okay. We want to now bring in a gentleman who will show up for you anywhere, anytime, because he has a very important story to tell about his brother. Tell me about who he is. Jamal Warnham.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, Jamal. Well, great to see you. Jamal, we know that your brother, Aaron, 25, was murdered in 2011 on his way to a barbecue. And, sometimes I'm a news anchor. I hear you read these stories, but people don't understand who the person was. Tell me about this.
Man, he was special. He was an angel, man. He was so unique, so dynamic, so fearless, just one of a kind. A teacher, a gentle giant. A lot of people like to refer to him as. The way he loved everybody from young to old was something that the whole family just was enamored to watch. A lot of people say that there'll never be another, but I can say that there'll never be another Aaron Justin Warnham.
What do you want to say, Jamal, to Tina? Because I know that the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute has had an impact on your family.
Absolutely. Miss Tina know how much I love her. That's my hero, man. She done saved my mother. I tell all the time, we're in year 10 of our journey, and from year 1 to now is such a joy to see how much my mother has climbed and become so strong and so fearless and so just impactful in the way that she expresses her grief now. And we owe that all to Miss Tina. I tell all the time, my mom was broken when this happened. She didn't know what she wanted to do. She didn't know how she can do it. She didn't know if it was okay to do it. And through Miss Tina's lessons, love, encouragement, texts, scriptures, everything, my mother stands today, year 10, strong, knows what she want to do, knows it's okay to hurt, knows it's okay to cry. She has a strong support system, and, we owe that all to Miss Tina.
Tina, you have any response as we about to wrap this up?
The response is thank you. As a sibling survivor, we as mothers will show up. We will show up and show out in remembering other children. As a sibling survivor, just before we wrap up, I want to have you have the last word. What would you say to other sibling survivors?
Knowing and understanding that that's a title and a position I hold, I would definitely say to them, it's okay to not understand how to grieve. It's okay to not want to grieve. It's okay to, hold this title of being strong and not, knowing how to release the emotion. I just want you to know it's okay to release it. Let it out. We'll get through it. I say we because, it's a community. We are sibling survivors. A lot of times we don't get that. I don't want to say attention, but we don't get that notoriety because we don't understand that we are siblings, and it's just okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And give your mom a hug for me. Happy Mother's Day to her.
You too.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Jamal.
Thank you, Jamal and Shara, for sharing your story. It makes a difference to know there are others out there willing to help. And the help isn't just here around Boston. In fact, our work is being done all over the country, from Philadelphia to Chicago to San Francisco, and even to the U.S. Virgin Islands. So, Latoya, who's up next?
Oh, something very special. A woman I want to be like her when I grow up. Bernadette Gonzalez. She started Victims United, Inc. in the U.S. Virgin Islands in 2009 after her son Tigre was innocently murdered in a crossfire. Victims United, like the Peace Institute, was created to support survivors of homicide victims. Bernadette and Tina were introduced to each other by a mutual friend and have joined forces to mentor each other. And
That's right, Latoya. This woman, it's one of my sheroes. She has brought law enforcement on St. Thomas and St. Croix and brought us to train them on best practices for survivors of homicide victims. Bernadette, do you have something on in the back? Because I can hear an echo.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
How's that?
Better.
That's better.
We can still hear it, but we'll just work through it because we want to connect with you. You're all the way in St. Croix. Hello, the Boston St. Croix connection. It looks wonderful. So let's talk right now. Tell us about the connection that you have with the Lucy Brown Institute and your work in the Virgin Islands.
Actually, Latoya, I'm in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, but St. Croix is dear to my heart because I have family there. And not only did I lose my son Tigre, I also lost a nephew, 16 years old, as well as a brother. My nephew, Charles Ward Gonzalez III, and my brother Dale Gonzalez were murdered at the same time. And so St. Croix is also dear to me, and it's a part of our work. Our work entails the territory, which is St. Thomas, St. John, Water Island, and St. Croix. It also extends to sometimes the BVI, as well as Tina knows. We also have referrals from within the United States. There are families that we work with from Florida all the way across to California.
And what I know about you, Tina and Bernadette, is that you focus on the police response, because the Lucy Brown Peace Institute and the Victims United organization both looked at police and government response to the violence. Bernadette, tell us about that.
Well, responses are very important. In fact, most important. When this happened to our family, the response was, regrettably to say, atrocious. That helped me to see that I wasn't the only family who suffered and then suffered again. Also, we look at the disparities, as you spoke about recently. A lot of times when we look like we do, we're not given the kind of treatment that is equitable, that is fair, that is just. And so from our experience, we helped our community to do better. And we started with the first responders, because the police are the first on the scene in many occasions.
Thank you so much, Bernadette. I know we have some more. We'll bring you to the States one of these days. But thank you so much for being with us. I love you. And now we're going to have more survivors holding candles in memory of their loved ones. I love you, my sister.
Love you too, Tina.
Even in my home, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Even in my home, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine. Oh, I'm it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, said I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Just so beautiful.
How are you? The ending. Thanks again, Bernadette. Thank you for this. This video also is heart-wrenching. So we're now going to switch gears just a little bit to someone who represents us here and in Washington, D.C. I'd like to welcome, she is my friend, but she's also a Congresswoman, Ayanna Pressley, who champions supports to survivors of homicide victims. And she is well aware of the work done by the Peace Institute. Welcome, my sister, Congresswoman.
Whoa.
How are you? Okay, sorry. Latoya's going to now take it over.
No. The reunion is there. We have to acknowledge the fact that it's the sister circle when you get, so
Absolutely. I miss you all immensely. It is a blessing to sit at this virtual table with you. I'm going to try to keep it together because it's been so long. But I did want to say this. This walk was a tradition with my family and I. And here's a picture of my mom. So this is my first act of activism at 3 months old, a tenants' rights march with my mom. And then our last act of activism was when she walked half a block for the Mother's Day Peace Walk because she was so determined, even though her body was very fatigued from cancer. And that was our last act of activism together. And so I just want to speak our mothers' names, Arnita, Zoila, Sandy. And I do believe that we've absorbed the best parts of them. That's the advice that I was given when your mother transitions. They are life. So they never really die. It's energy force. You just absorb the best parts of them. And my sisters, you reflect that today in your beauty, in your grace, and in your selfless and radical love.
Woo, you got me. Okay, you're right. And when I saw your mother's picture, and I know I've interviewed you when you first became a Congresswoman, and you inspired me with her dedication to you. And so we show up for our mothers today.
Absolutely.
Congresswoman, you have done so much, but the National Survivors of Homicide Victims Awareness Month, thank you for your leadership on that. Where does this stand? What next steps? What can the community do to show up and be there right now?
Yeah, well, listen, support is a verb. So support the Louis G. Brown Peace Institute and invest in them. Look, Chaplain Sherry and the Peace Institute, they have given us a blueprint for healing. They have given us a blueprint for holistic wraparound support services. Every homicide does not earn headlines, even though anytime we lose a life with this public health crisis, it should. But for those that do earn headlines, when the headlines fade, it is the Louis G. Brown Peace Institute that is still there. They have developed this curriculum. Again, it is being replicated worldwide. And so with my efforts nationally to establish a Survivors of Homicide National Awareness Month, following the lead of the Massachusetts legislature, led and mobilized by the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. So we now have that here in the Commonwealth, which was established in December 2020. But we need to establish a month nationally. Why? Because 1 in 4 Black and Latina households have lost a loved one due to homicide. For every person that we lose due to homicide, there are a minimum of 10 people in their community or their family that's impacted. So that's 13,000 people, right? So there are 13,000 homicides a year. I don't want to exhaust y'all with numbers, but I'm offering this. Again, 1 in 4 Black and Latino Latinx households have lost a loved one to this public health crisis. 13,000 homicides a year. And then for every person that we're robbed of due to homicide, at least 10 people are impacted. Okay, so that's 130,000 people a year So we need the awareness so that we can get the investment. Okay, because people do not understand how pervasive trauma is and how it is choking at the promise of communities and our families. And I know we have to wrap, but I have to say this again, Chaplain Sherry, thank you for being my teacher, because when I was so paralyzed by the ongoing gun violence in the city, and I was a Boston City Councilor, and I came to you and I said, what can we do? And you said, listen. And we convened the first ever listening only hearing on the Boston City Council, where 300 plus families impacted by homicide came, and all we could do was actively listen to them and learn from them. You have taught me how to make sure that everything that I do is survivor led. It is because of you that I say the people closest to the pain should be the closest to the power, driving and informing the policy making. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you both. Sorry to derail us a little bit.
No.
Space for our mamas speaking their names.
Yes.
Nita, Zoila, Sandy, we honor you. Happy Mother's Day. And I need you all to invest in the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute, organize, mobilize, and make sure we establish this month on the federal level. I introduced this in the 116th Congress. We're in a new Congress, new administration. I will be reintroducing it, and I need your sweat equity and your laboring and love to make this real.
Wow. Can I bottle whatever you have right now? Because I need it every day. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Thank you for your energy. Tina, I know you want to say goodbye to your sister.
Well, thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you so much. And again, a happy Mother's Day to you. And we love you.
Love you.
Before we bring on Senator Markey Latoya, I just want to thank the survivors for walking 25 years, for their commitment, for showing up. If they did not show up, It would just be me, and we would not be here. So really, this is all for you. We know it's virtual. We'll be back next year, but we just love you, and keep on keeping on.
Yeah, shout out to all the teams who show up there every year, whether it's virtual or whether it's in person, whether it's in the rain. You know you show up because you know it's for a very good cause. Okay, so Tina, we have another very powerful guest who believes in the commitment. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I want to just, I lost my notes. Oh, I just want to take a few minutes to introduce someone I know is a friend, Senator Markey. I've known him for a while, and I just appreciate his always being present, and never realized that the senator knew who I was. So I just want to welcome you and thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thank you, Tina, so much, and thank you for all of the incredible work which you and all of your team do on an ongoing basis. It is absolutely amazing. And, back in 2020, as Donald Trump was heading into his final year as president of the United States, and we had to make that the case, when he delivers the State of the Union address, a member of the Senate gets to select one person to sit up in the gallery of the Senate to look down on that gathering. And in 2020, February of 2020, I invited Tina to be my guest, to be sitting in the gallery as Donald Trump absolutely spewed out his final hate-filled, misogynist-filled, NRA, wholly owned subsidiary speech to the United States of America. But before that, we have a little dinner with the members of the United States Senate. And I invited Tina to come with me to talk to the senators, one after another, to tell her story and what she wanted our country to do in order to deal with this pandemic of gun violence, which affects our country. And so each of them, as they talked to her, were transfixed. And one really particularly powerful conversation was the conversation that Tina had with Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut, who has been a powerful voice for gun safety after what happened in Newtown, Connecticut. And Tina and he exchanged these incredible remarks, talking about what the impact on victims and victims' families, and how families are impacted, and people don't understand how families are impacted. And Tina, one by one, talked to each member of the Senate. We did this at a dinner table, but then out on the Senate floor, just giving her the platform where she could preach, where she could explain why it's so necessary for us to take on the NRA, so that we make the NRA stand for not relevant anymore in American politics. And so from my perspective, Tina, you are just an incredible national leader on these issues. And we have to make sure that we reach a day where children have to look to the history books to find that there ever was such a thing as this gun epidemic in our country.
Thank you so much, Senator. And through that, we are working with Mothers United Against Violence in Connecticut through that connection, because his guest reached out to me, and we are now building relationships so that we can learn from each other.
Yeah, and that was the goal. The goal was to continue to build out this national network. And obviously, if we do it, and we do it in a telescope time frame, we can change the way this country relates to the gun industry. Right now, they still have too much power. But I think the day is coming. And you, Tina, and all of the mothers, all of the activists who are standing up and leading our country are going to have a day when we defeat the NRA. And I'm glad that what you are doing in Boston is linked to Connecticut and linked to state after state around the country, because that's the only way in which we are going to ultimately be successful.
Senator Markey, thank you so much for waking up and encouraging everybody to participate in this walk, and really talking about the efforts, the leadership efforts, and the partnership between you and the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute, and bringing Tina as your guest in that very important time. We appreciate you being here this morning, and have a great Mother's Day. And thank you for your work on behalf of the citizens of Massachusetts and beyond.
And happy Mother's Day to everyone today. Let's keep marching. Let's keep doing everything that we can in order to defeat this scourge. And let's make sure that we contribute to this cause, because ultimately, this is something that goes right to the soul of our country, to the soul of who we have to be as a people in our society. A mother's love is peace. Let's keep walking together and working together so we reach that peaceful day when all of our country can live in peace. Thank you, Tina. Thank you to everyone who has joined today.
Thank you so much. Before we share the sponsors, I just want to share our top 3 fundraising team: Compassionate Cohasset, Sharing a New Song, Team MGH, and Team Drew Keegan. They have all met their fundraising goal, over $10,000 each. Thank you to our sponsors, Martin Richard Foundation, Rick and Gita Shea, Beth Israel Leahy. These are the top sponsors making this 25th annual Mother's Day Walk for Peace a success.
Well, Tina, the work continues, and for folks who are inspired right now, you still have plenty of time to go and to visit the website and to donate, because the work continues all year long. Donate now to www.mothersdaywalkforpeace.org. Tina, thank you for everything that you do. I'm Latoya Edwards. I'm so honored every time to participate in this walkathon, whether it's virtual or beyond. It is my absolute pleasure. And I know we are going to leave them with the video, Tina, but I do want to also let you know that there's going to be a TV special about this walk coming up next weekend. That's Saturday, May 15th, 10 a.m., Sunday, May 16th, 5 a.m. and 11:30. So a couple different times to watch. You see, we're NEC and we're NBC 10 Boston, and we just are so proud to be your media sponsor, Tina, with the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute and the important work that they do. Do you have a closing remark to the people who are watching right now?
I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, I've always learned you build it and they will come. And thank you for coming. Thank you to all of you. And again, to the survivors, we are in this together. And let's continue to hold each other, to love each other. Let's cry. Yes, let's cry because we've got to get it out. And then let's do what our loved ones would want us to do. Celebrate and honor them the best way that we can by choosing to live. Peace warriors, that's who we are. Thank you. Thank you, NBC, and thank you, NBC Boston.
Enjoy this little video that we have prepared for you so you can get excited and continue this virtual walk. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
So Tina and the Peace Institute, thank you for lighting the way with wisdom, determination, and grace. Your tireless commitment to Boston's residents has been nothing short of inspiring. We will never stop working until we've reached our goal, peace, healing, and the hope for every single member of our community.
I'm especially grateful to Chaplain Tina Sherry for your vision and continued leadership to honor the memory of your son, Louis, by organizing the walk each year, and for building the Peace Institute into one of the most powerful and positive forces here in our Commonwealth.
What do you say to a force of nature? What do you say to someone who has taken that kind of deep, deep pain and turned it into resolution and humility and grace for herself and her family and so many others?
To know that in the moment of deepest need for so many, that regardless of circumstances, there's going to be someone there for them to help guide them through this trauma.
We walk with Tina because she gets it. For 25 years, she has shown up with energy and passion, making people's lives better through love and equitable support. She knows that it doesn't matter who you are, or where you live, or what circumstances led to your loss. Everyone deserves dignity, compassion, and care.
Nobody could speak more powerfully as to preventing violence than yourself and the mothers that were involved in that march. And the late Mayor Tom Menino, he was there every year. We'd have this little back and forth where he'd give me grief as to how I was dressed and inappropriate, but we marched. Every year, I looked forward to it.
Really uniting first Dorchester, then the city of Boston, and really the whole Commonwealth of Massachusetts and beyond.
Yeah.
The event has become a very important part of the calendar here for our family, for most of our neighbors, and we really cherish the connection that we've had all these years to the Mothers Walk for Peace.
And being present when the issues of trauma impacts families and you're there. And so we just want to thank you and thank the Louis D. Brown team for continuing this incredible, incredible effort.
As we navigated through the Criminal Justice Reform Bill in 2018, the Peace Institute was front and center in advocating for victims' rights. You have done an amazing job in all of our communities.
For 25 years, you've been waking up on Mother's Day to celebrate and honor the lives of the loved ones who've been murdered. We're going to keep walking, hopefully next year in person, and we're going to keep walking until there's peace.
Tina, if you didn't exist, we'd have to create you, but luckily you do exist. Happy 25, and here's the 25 and then 25 more.